Hi, I'm Neil Rogers. Welcome back to VeloNews TV. I'm joined today with Jesse Anthony of the Kodak Gallery Sierra Nevada team. Jesse, thanks for coming in.
Thanks, Neil.
Yeah, and welcome to Boulder. I understand you just moved to Boulder with Tim Johnson and Lynn Bissett.
Yeah, I just moved here with Tim and Lynn, and also Sean Milne, who's also riding for HealthNet this year. But we just rolled in last week and getting used to the scene here. It's kind of snowy for training right now, but it looks like a really nice town. I'm excited for this spring.
So what prompted the move to Boulder?
Supposedly better training weather, but it's been really warm at home in Massachusetts, and out here it's been a little cold. But there's at least mountains out here, so when it does get warmer, we can go climbing.
Yeah,
should be nice.
Well, lots to talk about. Let's go back. Last year was your first real complete road season with a pro team. Talk about it. I mean, you had some great rides. I know you were real strong in Georgia. I think you were the best young rider at the USA Crit Series.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I kind of started out after Crossworlds last year. I took a week off and went to training camp with the team and started off on a really good foot. And I did some really good base training in the spring and started racing in California. And from there, I kind of built up and built into some really good form. I was really happy with how I was riding coming into Georgia. And I just had a really solid race there. And it was kind of hard to shine with all the level of racing with the Pro Tour guys. But I had a top 10 finish and a couple of top 20, so I knew I was riding just pretty strongly toward the end of the race.
And that was your first time doing a stage race at that level. I mean, a big week-long stage race at those kind of speeds.
Yeah, that was the first time doing any race with the Pro Tour guys, so it was really exciting. And you know, I had a good time. It was good to ride with the team, and we all worked pretty well together. I was there riding a lot with Ben Jacquemines, who was our team leader at the time. And after that, you know, I just tried to keep my form up throughout the season, tried to be consistent. I never really had any great peaks after that, but I just rode consistently through Philly Week and through some of the crits toward the end of the year and into the Tour of Utah. And about midway through the Tour of Utah was where I kind of fell apart, and just all the racing and the miles that I put in that year kind of caught up to me. So.
Yeah, and I know that we talked a couple times over the cross season, and your cross season, you said kind of, and maybe that's just carrying over from that Utah low that you talked about. But you said it was a rough start to the cross season. You were feeling kind of flat, not exactly sure why, but finished it off with the national championship. So maybe you can kind of take us through the cross season.
Yeah, I mean, toward the end of the road season, like I said, I was really smoked. I tried to do nationals and some other races toward the end of the year, and I just didn't have anything left in the tank. And I knew then that I needed to take a break, so I took a little time off before the cross season, but I was really fired up for the cross season too, so I tried to train really hard going into the beginning of that. And I had one good weekend in the Long Island at the Southampton races.
That's early in the cross season.
That was the second weekend of the year. Yeah. So I was like, all right, this is great. I'm feeling good. I'm riding well, and you know, if I train a little harder, maybe I can really tear it up in the USGP circuit. So the next weekend at Gloucester, which is my hometown race, I was really stoked to be there, and I just fell apart there again. It was like, oh man, I can just feel so tired, and I was really blown. So I kind of tried to salvage it and ride it out for the next few weeks. And after about 2 or 3 weeks of just feeling really flat and useless, I was like, you know what? There's one thing left to do this year, and that's to win Cross Nationals. So I dropped the bike for a few days and kind of gathered myself together, gathered my thoughts, and was like, all right, I got to focus on training. So I talked to my coach, Mark McCormick, and he was like, you know what, I know you can win nationals. We've done it before, and this is a hard situation because you're really having a hard time in the middle of the year. But if you work hard and keep focused, you can build up to that. So he helped me really just get it together. I just did a lot of specific training and kind of skipped a lot of the bigger races throughout the season on the East Coast that are not maybe a big deal in the rest of the world, but to the East Coasters, they're a big deal. You know, everyone knows what the Gurneau race is in Philly, and the Philly race, and I had to skip those, and some of the New England Series races. So
that's kind of a gamble, huh?
It was a bummer to miss those races, but you know, doing one race a week was pretty much all I could handle, and I knew that, and that kind of fit into my training real well. So by the time we came up to nationals, I had been feeling good for a few weeks, and I was training well. And I just, you know, I knew I could do it, I just had to. And so I went out there and rode as hard as I could and ended up winning, so that was great.
Yeah, congratulations, 7th national title. And I think it's worth mentioning as well, and you said this to me earlier, that the U23 category this year was definitely tougher than it's ever been. I mean, guys like Jamie Driscoll, who won the USGP series.
Yeah, no, Jamie was riding real strong all season, and he was consistent and won the USGP, which the consistent guy is going to win the series. And at all those races, there were 25, 30 U23 races, which there's usually not even that many at nationals, let alone these smaller races. So to see that many guys throughout the season consistently show up, and the podium change every weekend. The top 3 wasn't always the same, which in the years past it's always been maybe the same 3 or 4 guys
just
switching off.
Yeah.
There were new guys slipping in the top 5, new guys slipping into the top 3. So the level of U23 is definitely going up, which is awesome.
Well, now I know that you talked about Cross Worlds last year. I know you won't be going to the World Championships at the end of this month because of your obligations with the road team. Talk to me about that. Talk to me about maybe your feelings on that, and then your plans for the 2007 road season.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the reasons I fell apart at the end of this past road season was just because I had done Worlds, and I got 1 week off in between that and training for the road season. And I had 6 weeks off of racing. A lot of guys are taking half of the time off from training and 2 or 3 months off from racing, and trying to do the same season that I am on the road. So you had three more months of racing, especially another 6 weeks in Belgium.
Yeah.
And that really takes a big toll on just what you can physically handle. So this year it was a hard decision because it's my last year U23, and I really felt stronger this year at times than I've ever felt before. And at the beginning of the season, I was like, oh, it's up in the air, and if I'm riding really well, I'll try to go to Worlds. But when I started just to crack, I was like, you know what, no Worlds. We're gonna pull the pin right now on that, focus on the U.S. season, and then focus on next year's road season. That way I'll get a real break. I'll get to do some real base training here in Boulder, and now I get, I think, 8 weeks of training after 3 weeks off before the road season. So that much time will make a significant difference to me, I think. And maybe later in the year at Tour of Utah, I'll still be riding at the end and not dying.
Well, one last question. I mean, with one full pro road season under your belt, what kind of goals do you have personally for 2007?
My goals have definitely changed. Last year, I kind of came into the season, I was like, I have no idea what to expect from myself, and I don't know what these races are like, so I'm going to go out there, I'm going to ride as hard as I can, help my team out, and learn as much as I can about racing. And I did that, and I learned a lot, and I was able to help the team in situations. And this year, I definitely want to step it up a little bit, maybe try to go for some results when the opportunity is presented to me. And also, we got a great team at the Kodak Gallery Sierra Nevada this year, and I think we can, if we all gel together, we can really pull some stuff off. So I'm really looking forward to being a part of that, and just kind of stepping up. Now I know what some of the races are, I know how hard it is, and I kind of know a little bit more what to expect, so I can come a little better prepared, and hopefully that'll show in the results.
All right, well, we'll look for you out there, and I'll definitely be looking for you in Philadelphia, because that race generally falls on your birthday.
Yep.
All right, Jesse, welcome to Boulder. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Neil.